I love watching all sorts of motorsport. Formula 1, IndyCar, Formula E, British touring cars, MotoGP, anything that moves really. But there's one genre of car racing that has completely passed me by. NASCAR. There's not a particularly easy way to watch it here in the UK, so I've never bothered. And as such, I know bugger all about it. From this intro though, it seems it involves lots of cars, lots of crashes, and a big dollop of America. Because this is NASCAR 98 on the PS1. Sponsored by McDonald's apparently. Anyway, NASCAR 98 is a game all about NASCAR in 1998. I think. It actually came out in 1997, so who knows. I'm already getting confused. It's got all your favourite drivers like him, and him. To be fair, there are a few names I do recognise, such as Dale Earnhardt, a man with a very strong moustache. In fact, there are a few decent tashes in here. Maybe they act as a hairy go faster stripe or something. I know Jeff Gordon as well, and seeing as he was the champion in 1998, thanks Wikipedia, I'm going to be racing as him. So yeah, let's get going.
Hello, I'm Bob Jenkins for EA Sports, coming to you from Hampton, Georgia, home of the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Looking at the track layout, the 24-degree bank turns make this a very fast track for its distance. The drivers will no doubt be looking for passing opportunities on the long and ever-inviting back straightaway.
Thanks for that, Bob. He provides an intro before each race, which is a nice touch, especially for someone like me who doesn't know anything about most of the tracks we'll be going to. We're doing a full season, and this is round 1, a nice straightforward oval in Atlanta. Green, 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 let's go! I'm just getting the feel for it in this race, so my expectations are quite low. I've started at the back. How far up the order can I get? Well, it helps when the other drivers are taking each other out like that. Yellow, yellow, yellow! 18 seconds in and we already have our first caution. Exactly what I was expecting from NASCAR. Let's skip ahead to lap 5 and I've worked my way up to the dizzying heights of 4th. Turns out I'm a natural at this. Or maybe not. That little tap caused me to lose control and slam into the wall. Luckily I'm able to recover fairly quickly and only slip to 8th, so a podium might still be on here if I can close up again. Whoops. Okay, maybe I'm not the NASCAR racing god I initially thought I was. Another crash right at the finish line meant I limped home in 13th. I'm impressed the car was able to sustain all the damage that I caused, so getting to the finish is an achievement in itself. Round 2 is at Belmont, an actual track with corners that go left and right, wow. With all my F1 experience you'd think I'd be better at these than the ovals and, well, no. That was quite a beefy crash. A pretty cool looking crash too, I'm proud of that one. Not the result I was after though, so let's head to the next round. It's another oval, this time in Texas for the highly prestigious Interstate Batteries 500. I mean that's the one everyone wants to win, isn't it? Mainly for this glamorous trophy. In these first races you've seen that I've been extensively testing the damage model. Yeah, it's all been completely deliberate, honest. Anyway, if you have too many knocks, it does feel like it's affecting the handling a little bit. So it forces you to try and be somewhat careful, and as we saw in the last race, you can end up DNFing if you have too big of an accident. The handling overall has been good too. Some games from this era end up being too difficult because the cars are almost impossible to drive, but this is arcadey enough that I can pick it up for the first time and be relatively competitive. As I'm proving here, as I'm about to secure my first ever NASCAR podium with a 2nd place. Hooray for me! And if we check the standings, I've jumped into the top 10. I'm already more than 120 points behind the leader though. I'm not even going to pretend that I understand how the NASCAR point system works, but it's a long season and hopefully I can catch up. It's 17 races long in fact, so with that in mind I'll give you a few edited highlights from the rest of the season and we'll jump back in for the finale.
flag is out. One more lap to go.
There we go then. I have actually managed to win a couple of races, both on ovals, so it would be nice to get one on a road course as well. And the final race is at a track I'm familiar with, because just like Formula 1 in the late 90s, we're ending the season at Suzuka. Over to you, Bob.
Hello and welcome to Suzuka City, Japan for today's running of the NASCAR Championship Racing Series. I'm Bob Jenkins with thousands of eager race fans on hand at the Suzuka circuit. This is the final stop in this year's series, so get ready for some racing excitement.
It's not quite the full Suzuka, but hopefully we can get a good result here. Any chance of winning the championship is long gone, so it's all about getting a win. And I'm taking it so seriously, I'm even going to do qualifying. Well, that was a waste of time. Let's just get on with the race. This is what I call a start. We're flying up the order as we approach turn 1. A little bit of nudging later and I'm already well into the midfield. I have been steadily improving as the season's gone on. Obviously I'm still not perfect, but it's been quite an easy game to get to grips with. I've always enjoyed the ones you can just pick up and be on the pace pretty much immediately. Some games nowadays feel like you have to practice for hours on end to get remotely good at them, whereas you might just want a quick blast in a different series every so often. That's what I'd do back in the day, flip between different racing games depending on what took my fancy at the time. I never had a NASCAR game back then, but if I had this, I'm sure it would have been in the rotation. It's been fun! Here's the checkered flag, and I made it up to 8th, which, from the back of the grid on a tight twisty circuit like Suzuka, I guess isn't too bad. It also means I will end up 8th in the standings too. So close to the title, only 544 points behind. I'd been putting off doing a NASCAR video because I knew nothing about it, and I still don't really, but I'm glad I played this. I've no idea what any of the other NASCAR games are like, maybe we'll check some of those out one day. And perhaps I'll actually watch a race or two in the meantime.